UFC Fight Night, Henry Cejudo taking on Yadong takes place in a couple days, and I'm going to give you my super quick predictions about who I think is going to win. We're going to start with the prelims, end with the main card, and overall, I think this card is pretty simple to predict. I think there's only like 1 or 2 fights that, could go either way, but the rest of them seem pretty straightforward. Let's just get right into it. First, Modestas versus Raffael. Modestas should win. Better striker. Should be able to find the chin of Raffael. If not, probably going to go to the decision. I can imagine probably a round 2 knockout, if anything. Modestas holds good power. Yes, he has the ability to kind of stay on the outside as well and, be a little bit low volume at times, but he's very good in the counter striking. And he's also trained with Tom Aspinall, so big up the Bevo, camel. So I think Modestas wins. Next, Ruziboev taking on Eric. Seems pretty simple. Ruziboev should win. Better striker. Probably going to go to a decision. And if it ever goes to the ground, which I don't think it will, but if it ever does, Ruziboev has a wrestling background. We've seen it in his regional scene. He hasn't really showed it too much on the UFC kind of circuit, but his striking has looked good. He's fighting at his proper weight class at middleweight. The fight against Joaquin Buckley was at 170, so a little bit lower weight there. He didn't really look too good, but his middleweight class looks good. So I think Ruziboev, easy win. This next fight has been made out of thin air. Austin Vanderford versus Nikolay. Nikolay has a good chin. That's about it. He's not really tough, not really dangerous. He has a hole in his game, which is the wrestling. He cannot avoid the takedowns there. So the pick's going to be Austin because I think Austin can get the takedowns. Although I don't think Austin is very dangerous, it's a pretty simple game plan. Take the other man down. That's all you got to do. So I like Austin. Again, probably going to go to a decision, so I like the over rounds there. This is one of the fights that I think could go either way. We have Javid Basharat taking on Ricky Simon. Originally, I was like, oh, Javid Basharat. Makes sense. Kind of low volume, good counter striker. But the more I watch the tape and the more I listen to other analysts and all that kind of stuff, I don't like him. Even though in my quick predictions and like my TikTok and shit, I picked Javid, I don't know if I like him anymore. I think Ricky Simon could win this. So I'm gonna swap my pick here and go Ricky Simon. He's a pressure wrestler who has okay power in his hands, but he's just non-stop and he can go all 3 rounds. Javid Basharat has a quit button. If you put too much pressure on him, he doesn't know what to do, and he also doesn't want to win the fight. We all saw when he fought Ariel Helwani basically in that last fight. The 3rd round, there was no will to win the fight. I think Ricky Simon, being the hometown guy, he's gonna want to win this a lot more than I think Javid. So I'm gonna swap the pick here. I don't know what I'm gonna do for bet yet. It's probably going to go long, so probably an over round. I'm going to probably lean towards there, but Ricky Simon is going to be the official pick. Next, Mansur Abdul-Malik taking on Nick Klein. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Mansur should win here. Better wrestler, better striker. That's what we kind of need to know. Nick Klein is probably the better on the ground with the jiu-jitsu. So probably like a Hail Mary submission, if anything. Like if you're going to play Nick Klein, maybe do submission. I can't imagine him winning all the rounds there. Mansur should be able to find him, and if not, just wrestle fuck him to a decision. So I like that. Oh, I don't like that, but he's going to win like that. Next, Andre Fili taking on Mikhail Costa. I like Andre Fili. I'm a big Andre Fili fan. He has all the skills to do it. He just has no chin. That's his problem. Costa, he has the potential to do something with this sport. I just don't think he's there yet. And I think Andre Fili is going to be the far more technical fighter in this fight. He's going to be able to stay on the outside, hopefully not get into a brawl, which even though he likes to do at times. This is just a gut feeling. I'm going to go with Fili, but realistically, Costa could easily chin him. So just be careful with what you do with the bets there. But I'm going to go by Fili, and I'm probably going to do decision if I had to pick. Next, Ion Cutelaba taking on Ibo Aslan. There is no way in hell I'm going to pick Ion Cutelaba to win a fight in 2025. What are we doing? When you think he's going to strike, he wrestles. When he wrestles, he strikes. What are we doing? Ibo Aslan is going to knock the fuck out of Ion Cutelaba. He has a chin issue, and I know he's been to decisions recently in the past, or recently, not in the past, recently. Ibo's a dog. He holds big power. The cardio, even though he looked good last fight, still kind of worries me a little bit. So, going to go Ibo, probably by knockout. Obviously, that line is probably going to be juiced. Next. Alonzo Menifield taking on Julius Walker. Again, it pains me because I don't want to pick Alonzo Menifield because I don't think he's that good. But he holds big power. Julius Walker, I don't really know too much. So I'm just going to go with the guy I know, top 15 guy. Really bad breakdown here, but Alonzo Menifield, KO. Second round. That's what I like. He has a good chin. Should be able to withstand there. I don't really know too much about Julius Walker, so good stuff there. Next, this is a fight I do know about. Gene Silva taking on Melsik Baghdasaryan. I think I actually nailed that one, so come on. Gonna go with Gene Silva. He's an absolute animal. He gets hit way too much for what I like, but he's a dog. He has a chin, ferocious striking. Wrestling so-so, he's there. Good camp behind him. He's fighting at the Fighter Nerds, which we will probably know by now. Melsik, he is very fast in the hands as well, and he can probably land a few counter shots, and I think he's going to have a few big moments. But I think it's going to be a striking matchup where they're not going to be throwing too many punches at each other, and one guy is going to land the big moment of the round, and that's going to win in the round. And in my opinion, I'm going to pick Gene Silva to do that for all 3 rounds. So I like Gene Silva. I'm pretty confident in him. Moving on. We have Rob Font with short notice replacement Gene Matsumoto. Gonna go with Gene Matsumoto. This one, a little bit of caveat here. Be careful. Rob Font's really good at boxing. I think we all know this by now. So if Gene does not mix up all the skills, Rob Font's going to easily win. Do not get into a striking matchup with Rob Font. He's just going to be better than you. We saw that in the Kyler Phillips matchup. But if you mix in the takedowns, you mix in the leg kicks, you mix in the boxing, mix in all the tools of MMA, Gene Matsumoto is going to find great success here. So I'm going to pick Gene because he has the ability to do that. But he gets hit a lot. And again, it's just, please do not just strike with Rob Font. You'll lose. Just simple as. Wow, flying through the 7 minutes in. Come on. Co-main event, Anthony Hernandez taking on Brendan Allen. Anthony Hernandez is going to be the pick. He uses cardio as a weapon just like Merab does. He's not really spectacular at really anything, but he uses the cardio like I mentioned. He has the ability to take you down. He has a solid chin, and he's nasty with the ground and pound, and also holds, somewhat power. Brendan Allen, on the other hand, how do I see him win? I don't, but if I had to pick, it would probably be a back take at some round. But again, Anthony Hernandez is good on the ground. I don't know, man. Like, if Anthony Hernandez can withstand Michel Pereira in the first round for those first 2-3 minutes, what is Brendan Allen gonna do? I don't see Brendan Allen as a kind of a tough guy. I see Anthony Hernandez as a fucking dog. Hopefully he's able to get it going faster and doesn't wait until the second round to kind of pick it up. But Anthony Hernandez, pretty confident pick. Come on. Main event. Henry Cejudo taking on Song Yadong. Yadong is going to be the pick. He watched, though, I think the UFC posted on Instagram, all of Song Yadong's fights. Kind of the main highlights and stuff like that. He is vicious at finishing people. His strikes that he lands, uppercuts, right hooks, left hooks, leg kicks, finds you on the ground, submits you. He does all the tools, and he's fast and powerful. I think he's going to KO Henry Cejudo probably in the 4th round. Obviously, the takedowns do kind of semi-scare me from Cejudo because he triple C for a reason. He's won 2 belts, champion in wrestling or gold medalist in wrestling there. So the takedowns do scare me a little bit, but I'm going to trust Song Yadong. I'm going to hope that he can find the big KO power. Probably later on, 4th round-ish, I can imagine, when Henry Cejudo kind of gets a little bit tired, because again, he is 37, 38, something like that. He's getting pretty old now. Song Yadong for the win, KO. I like it. So yeah, that was the main card. Obviously, I don't have time to make a best bets video, unfortunately, this week, but I'm gonna make one for UFC 313, I believe, the Alex Pereira pay-per-view there. Reason being, going on a skiing trip, so. Love that. And yeah, if you just want to see my bets that I have, check out the socials in the description. Obviously, I'm going to be posting on my Twitter and stuff. So yeah, like and subscribe, and let's make some money this weekend. Camel.